Hello, my name is Joshua Gilliland, and I am the chair of the Marketing Subcommittee to the National Sea Scout Support Committee. Our job is to help you be successful with your Sea Scoutships. Here are tips and best practices we have learned for starting new Sea Scoutships. I've helped start multiple Sea Scoutships in 3 different councils. Track record includes 3 successfully, 2 in the works, and hopefully more to come. So first off, why should we start Sea Scoutships? And the number one issue is retention of youth and Scouts BSA. When you look at the numbers that the Outdoor Committee has analyzed about retention, you can see how long a youth is normally in Scouting. The average tenure is 29 months, and that we lose 50% of Scouts between the ages of 13 and 15. However, that's where the young adult programs come in. Sea Scouts was started in 1912 specifically to help retain older youth in Scouting and the metrics support that we do. A youth who has been in a troop that joins a Sea Scoutship or venturing crew has an average tenure of another 16.5 months in Scouting. That also does not include all of the youth who currently are of Sea Scout age that are not in Scouting already. And one of the Sea Scoutships that I helped start in Foster City and in San Jose, California, none of those youth had been in Scouts BSA prior to joining their respective Sea Scoutships. So it's a way to expand the program and retain existing youth in the program. The materials that we have to help you start a Sea Scoutship are all available on seascout.org. Look under the marketing toolbox for various marketing assets that we have, and we also have a new ship page as well that can help you with material for starting a new ship. The formula that I have used to start new Sea Scoutships includes first, finding the charter partner. 2, finding the adult volunteers, the skipper, the committee chair, and the mates and committee members. Next, train the volunteers, then hold an open house, and then you should have at least 5 adults and 5 youth, and you can officially charter and get all of the paperwork completed. One caveat with this, always aim higher than 5 youth because things can happen. Kids get other interests, there are ways to get distracted, so go beyond the minimum. There are multiple ways to find a charter partner. Don't rule out existing charter partners. For example, Rotary clubs have chartered Sea Scoutships because they charter packs and troops as well. Churches do the same. So don't rule out existing charter partners. That said, there are some charter partners that are ideally suited to work with a Sea Scoutship. They can be the Coast Guard Auxiliary, who we have an official memorandum of understanding with. It could be yacht clubs, it could be rowing clubs, it could be a scuba shop, it could be a scuba club. There are many options for a prospective charter partner. The big thing is they want to work with youth in the community. For example, one of the existing ships in my council, a Lutheran church decided to take them on. It's just important to remember, find someone who wants to be engaged and work with you in delivering a quality program to youth. When reaching out to a charter partner, I'm a big fan of keep it simple. Now we have some basic charter partner flyers on seascout.org that can be attached to an email, but I like having a simple email saying who we are, what the goal is, include the overview video that we have on YouTube that's very short. It's in that 90-second category. And that way, it's a very easy message for people to have. Avoid the, here's a 45-minute video. Keep it simple and on point with a specific ask and a request to have a call at some point in the future. Let's take an example of trying to start a Sea Scout ship in Wyoming. Looking up a town in Wyoming, followed by doing some Google searches, I was able to find some churches, doing a Google search, I was able to find a VFW post that could be a charter partner, several churches that could also take on the task if they're interested, and a stand-up paddleboard company. All prospects to reach out to see if one of them would be interested in being a charter partner. The other part of reaching out to a charter partner is to understand the type of program that you're going to pitch. For example, in Wyoming, we could have a lot of paddle sport. For example, in Wyoming, we could have paddle sport and kayaking themed Sea Scout ships because of the national parks and waterways that they have within the community that would make it easy to have a focused program that gets youth on the water. So it's important to do your homework first and understand, do we have reservoirs? Is there a river? What do we have that's an easy waterway to access? Because we want to keep programs within communities so there are no barriers to entry, and it is, above all else, easy to do. Next is recruit volunteers, and there's multiple ways to do this. One is to do a marketing campaign reaching out to interested volunteers. And the way that you can do that is through press releases that go out to local publications. Recently did that in Half Moon Bay, California, that resulted in both a newspaper article and a local radio interview trying to recruit people to the cause. On top of the local publications, you can have a social media campaign that's targeted with geofencing. So this is using Facebook and finding people who are interested in, say, kayaking or scuba. It's important to know what kind of ship that you want to start, so that way you can have targeted geofencing so we can attract volunteers who will want to go out kayaking or go sailing, because the type of ship that you offer can be dependent upon the skill set of the volunteers. For example, kayaking and paddle sports are the easiest ships to start because those are the easiest skill set for volunteers to acquire. Sailing takes work, scuba takes work, power boats take work, but paddle sports is very low barriers to entry to get people on the water. As you train the volunteers, you go over all the basic training requirements that we have, from youth protection, if there's any state requirements for YPT and doing background checks on top of BSA requirements, Sea Scout basic leader training, and any local boating training that can be offered as well. There are state requirements that need to be followed for boat safety, so check those out and make sure that the prospective volunteers check all the boxes. Now, you don't need to get all of the volunteers at that first meeting, but you need to get some of the volunteers. At a minimum, finding the committee chair or the skipper makes life a lot easier for getting a new unit started, because you can have someone who will be the glue to hold the unit together as the unit is launched. The other volunteers can come from parents when you hold an open house. It's very important that when we do the marketing for the open house to capture if parents are interested in helping. Several of the new ships that I've helped start are parent-driven as skippers and mates. The volunteer training includes all of our scouting requirements that we have because every youth deserves a trained leader. It should also include doing a 3-month plan for the new unit. And that's because 14-year-olds who are just getting involved in Sea Scouts don't have the experience to say, I want to go do kayaking. They might see a picture of a kayak and go like, this looks fun, but having them extrapolate, this is the river that I want to go on, and well, it can just end badly. An effective way to have youth leadership in those early days of the ship is to present options. Say that the weekend activity is going to be kayaking to a location that's within an hour drive of where the ship meets. Present 3 options to those youth of, here's River A, here's Lake B, and here's Reservoir C. Present the options to them and let the youth debate and decide what they like and where they want to go. That's youth leadership. Because at the end of the day, youth leadership does not mean adult abandonment. We want the youth to be mentored, and we want the ship to be successful, and we want fun weekly activities. And that requires having a plan that gets youth on the water using Sea Scout advancement. We have a sample, and you can use this to customize to your ship. This is something that the local Commodore can help with, or a unit commissioner, or anyone from the NST3 or anyone from an NST Commodore down who's there to support a council starting a Sea Scout ship. Let's talk about marketing the new ship. This requires multiple campaign elements to be successful. I'm sorry there isn't a magic wand. However, these are tools that are effective. A boosted Facebook post targeted to parents from a council Facebook fan page works in finding interested youth. The other tool that has been successful are local publications running a story about the new ship. So a press release to go out to local publications and a Facebook campaign is a good way for parents to see this new Sea Scout ship that focuses on sailing sounds like something my daughter would like. Or this new ship focused on kayaking is something my son would enjoy. Think in those terms. There are other elements as well, such as next door, or going old school and using print media such as community boards. Coffee shops such as Starbucks, public libraries, some grocery stores all have community message boards where people put up a flyer saying, we're starting a Sea Scout ship, or learn horseback riding, or learn photography. People read those and they act on them. So that is another tool that you can use. And we have flyers that can be customized on seascout.org for you for holding an open house. And they can be theme specific. So if it's kayaking, sailing, a powerboat, scuba, pick the one that fits the new ship that you are starting. Another way to help promote the new ship is with the council or district newsletter. Most councils have at least a council newsletter that goes out. Many districts do as well. And district roundtables also can communicate this. Leverage those tools. So whether it's a DE sending out an email that goes to all the unit commissioners to share, or if the commissioner shares it at a district roundtable, those are all ways to get the message out. Unfortunately, there isn't just one way to do it. It's a little bit of everything in order to get a new ship started and find prospective youth and volunteers. BSA Marketing has a lot of excellent resources that you can use to understand how to do a geofencing campaign and other recruiting strategies. They are recorded. I highly recommend looking at those on the marketing resources page from scouting.org, formerly on Scouting Wire, and you can learn a lot of great tips. So check those out so you don't have to reinvent the wheel and understand the resources that we have available to help you. Now let's talk about planning the open house. It needs to be fun and it needs to be easy. I'm a big fan of the 2-hour kayaking adventure. Have a barbecue. So have youth arrive at 10, barbecue at noon, have the DE there possible, or maybe the district commissioner, and collect forms. If you're able to have online registration, even better. But having someone there to handle the paperwork and interact with the parents is fantastic. If your council has a new unit coordinator or the district does, also super helpful for being a point person to talk to the parents and help them get any paperwork done. It is a lot of fun and super rewarding to hold an open house and have the DE hold up the paperwork at the end and go, "We got it, 5 and 5. You are now an official Sea Scout ship." So all of that is, again, it's super rewarding, and it's something I greatly enjoy doing because we're getting youth on the water. We're here to help other people and provide a safe place that's fun where youth can make friends and have memories that last a lifetime. That's why we do this. Now, when the new ship is formed, there are some decisions that have to be made. What's the ship name? What's the ship number? Numbers can vary depending on councils. Some councils believe that a charter partner has the same number assigned to all of its units. For example, the Rotary Club that charters my new Sea Scout ship has the number 47. So they have a pack, troop, and ship all with the number 47. Others do it by district. So in San Jose, California, in the Pioneer District, the first Sea Scout ship was 301 because every ship has the number based upon the district. So the next one would be 302. This varies. Some don't care and let you number it, whatever. Just be aware of those traditions that exist within a council so you're not surprised by something. But the other part is fundamental because it goes to the ship name, the ship identity. Being the marketing guy, I'm a huge fan of having a good logo that looks fantastic on the back of the Sea Scout ship. T-shirt. I grew up on the Sea Scout ship Griffin in Redwood City, California. Their logo is a griffin holding a sextant. It looks fantastic. It's amazing on the back of their ship T-shirts. Think in those terms. Think what looks cool. What will help people go, that looks fun. Because if it's something esoteric or if people can't pronounce the name, oh, that could just really hurt marketing the new unit. So think in those terms of what's something that's approachable, that's visual, that people can look at and go, awesome, I want to be part of that group. And finally, have fun. Getting on the water, being on a boat, going on adventures is what we're about. Those are the memories that last a lifetime. I hope these materials help you. If you have questions, do not hesitate to reach out, whether it's the NSD Commodore, the Council Commodore, Unit Commissioner, whoever. We're here to help you be successful. So, thank you for your time, and good luck starting your new Sea Scout ship.